Good morning, Honorable Mr. President and distinguished delegates. Allow me, as Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Indonesia, to start the United Nations General Assembly on Human Rights. On this very precious opportunity, I represent all levels of the government of the Republic of Indonesia and all Indonesian people to convey the importance of human rights, which are currently being discussed by all human beings in the world, without exception. I will begin this General Assembly with a quote from Tony Fernandez, who said, "Human rights mean that every individual must be treated with respect, dignity, and equality. And this should be a way of life for all citizens of the world, no matter what country, religion, ethnicity, and wherever they are. This must be upheld and made the main principle in the social life. Even in today's life, we should leave behind secure ways of thinking, but train ourselves to think openly. Human rights issues are often challenging to get rid of from the face of the earth, even though the local government has promoted an order not to commit any form of physical or verbal violence regarding the dignity of every human being. In Indonesia, violations of human rights are often found, but the government is quick to deal with all forms of human rights violence firmly and fairly. Several foreign countries are claiming that the Indonesian state has discriminated against Papuans and abandoned them. The statement made by these foreign countries is a very shameful act and is an act that is very immoral and cannot be accounted for. The act is that in Indonesia itself, this does not only happen to Papua, but all regions of Indonesia have experienced discriminatory treatment from elements who are trying to divide the unity of Indonesia. We, the Indonesian government, always try to overcome things that our people do not want. Indonesia always strives to prioritize the welfare of its people through the protection of absolute human rights and is protected by the ruling law, namely the 1945 Constitution of the Republic of Indonesia. Let me tell you some facts behind accusations of foreign countries trying to divide Indonesia's unitary state. Papuans are Indonesians, and they are one of the components of the unity of Indonesia. They are part of Indonesia. Currently, the Indonesian government fully supports economic development in Indonesia, especially in Papua, where the poverty rate was initially at a percentage of 54%. Then in 2018, we succeeded in reducing that number to 27.62%. In addition to the Human Development Index in Papua, we had to push its development up to 59.5% in 2018 from 56% in 2013. It doesn't stop there, but with the isolation of Papuan transportation, which used to have the very minimal infrastructure, the Indonesian government built a mega road project so that mobilization in Papua can be broader and smoothly. We have also developed airports in Papua according to international standards. We, the Indonesian government, do support not only the economy, but also education. In Indonesia today, especially in Papua, we have also provided services for all the nation's children to get free education. We also ensure every security in Papua area by sending elite Indonesian troops to protect every attack from Papuan armed criminal groups who seek to threaten the sovereignty of the Republic of Indonesia. And all of this is already a very massive development. If there are still countries that try to state that we, the Indonesian government, are incompetent in managing the land, in that case, I, as a representative of the Indonesian people, questioning the credibility of the statements stated by the country concerned. Dear Mr. President, as Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Indonesia, I would like to state firmly that Indonesia will not tolerate any form of discrimination and violence against human rights. In addition to the human rights issue that I want to address at the United Nations General Assembly today, I also want to raise interference in the country's domestic problems. Indonesia feels that the act of interfering in the domestic issues of a country is an act that is not commendable. However, there are still countries that are consistently participate in inciting Indonesia's domestic matters, which is none other than the country of Vanuatu. The government frequently accuses Indonesia of human rights abuses and this continues to this day, according to the Vanuatu Prime Minister. At this time, it is clear that Vanuatu does not understand the principles of the United Nations Charter, which leads to respect for the sovereignty and territorial integrity of a country. And what's more, we, the Indonesian delegation, have ratified the International Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Racial Discrimination. In contrast, Vanuatu has not endorsed this convention, and what surprises me is that there are still acts of violence in Vanuatu against indigenous people. Therefore, Mr. President, I would like to raise a solid warning to countries trying to encourage separatism in Indonesia that we will not remain silent, and we Indonesia will always protect and defend the unitary state of the Republic of Indonesia. I thank you, Mr. President.